right, everyone. Welcome to the Nameless podcast, or this might turn into a podcast of its own where I have my buddy Gavin Crafton on here with me. We're actually chatting on Zoom because of the coronavirus. So everyone's dealing with that stuff. But since WrestleMania.
Sorry, that's how I make my introductions now.
Oh, God. Since WrestleMania is today, me and Gavin are both huge wrestling fans. And we just kind of wanted to go through all the different matches that WrestleMania is going to be having during a WrestleMania too big for just one night. I hate that so much.
Yeah, that's essentially them just like burying the coronavirus. Come on now.
Honestly, that's all it is. It's so annoying. But we're going to go through each and every match, just kind of give our thoughts about it, who we think is going to win, and just kind of like just chill, relax, talk, have a snack or two. And just chill. On the screen right now, Gavin is sharing CBS Sports with all the matches on there at the current moment. So
yeah, you're not going to see my ugly ass today.
Way to go through them, and it'll be quicker and easier instead of us just trying to like scramble together from memory. And his camera's jacked up. Isn't that right, Gavin?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to show everyone, but it's pretty bad.
Come on.
Plus, I like the podcast naked. And I don't want everyone to see that.
I know you're definitely not naked, Gavin. I know that.
I mean, from the last time you saw me, I was clothed, but, plenty of time between then and now.
That was 2 minutes ago. You're telling me you got undressed in 2 minutes just like that.
Yeah, I got, the pre-ripped Hulk Hogan shirt, just got and all that. So
praising God while ripping it off in the heat of anger.
Yeah, then I had that with my shorts too. It's got to have the whole fit ready.
My God, I'm gonna turn you up because I can barely hear you. But
that's awkward. I mean, if you want, I can get my Yeti, but that'll just
no, that's fine. Time. That was on more on my end. But before we get into this, I'm just kind of curious. Are you excited for this year's WrestleMania, Gavin?
I think so, because it's the first WrestleMania since probably WrestleMania 26 that I've actually consistently watched wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the last couple of years has just been about – I've watched, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and then that's about my extent of wrestling. Then this year I actually have cable for the first time since when I watched wrestling. So now I'm actually caught up on everything and know what the heck's going on.
Well – the first WrestleMania that I watched when I got back into it was actually WrestleMania 32. And a lot of people hate that WrestleMania, myself included. I didn't like it that much. It wasn't bad, but
Which one was that? Was that the one with Roman and Brock?
No, it was with Roman
Goldberg,
and Triple H.
And it was Goldberg and Brock?
It was Roman and Triple H, and it was actually Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose.
Oh, that's interesting.
But they did this whole storyline where it was Triple H, he came in number 30 for the Royal Rumble or something, and then won the WWE Championship from Roman, who had to defend it. And
the entrance number 1, right?
Yeah. So they were pitching the whole he's the underdog versus the authority angle, and people were so sick of it back then. And
that's kind of how I've noticed too, is that I've been watching some old WWF stuff lately on the network sponsor, and
$9.99.
Yeah, and how everyone hated The Rock whenever he was first coming out, and they actually ended up kind of steering into it and making him the douche, and so they didn't really do that with Roman, or they somewhat tried to do that, but not in a straight up turning heel way.
Yeah.
Just basically doing the opposite, where everyone else was the heel and he was the good guy, and that trying to combine, I guess, the Rock's original story with how Cena ended up, trying to really catch up to Cena, and it's funny seeing those parallels, and it just didn't work at all.
Yeah, I don't know, they've definitely changed since that time. I do remember WrestleMania 32. The one thing everyone loved was actually Zack Ryder won the IC championship in a ladder match.
And then he lost it the next night.
And then he lost it the next day. I was so pissed. Mainly because I was like, what was the point of giving it to him?
I mean, I actually saw something on the Squared Circle subreddit yesterday about how, like, the whole reasoning behind this was that The Miz was going to inevitably win it, that Raw, no matter who won it at Mania. And they were like, might as well give it to Mr. Ryder over here. And have you, like, watched his YouTube series about him and Kurt Hawkins, like, hunting down for WWE action figures?
I didn't know they had a YouTube channel like that.
They have their own podcast, too. Maybe we should totally reach out and collab, right? Right?
We've only had one episode together, Gavin. I don't think we're up there yet. All right.
Oh, bet. We're already giving them some plug money here.
Look, I don't think they need any from us. But yeah, like WrestleMania 35 was an awesome WrestleMania, in my opinion. It was probably one of the best I've ever seen. Probably in my top 5 out of probably 15 I've actually gone back and watched and seen after following. And this one I feel like was gonna not be as close to it, but it was definitely gonna be better than some. But I feel like it's just suffering because of everything going on.
Yeah, people say that WrestleMania in recent years peaked at 31, but I really feel like, these past few Manias have actually been pretty entertaining, but, like, some of them have drifted off. Like, Roman versus Brock, like, we're all kind of sick of seeing that. And so it's nice that we got somewhat of a change this year, especially with my man Drew McIntyre getting a shot this year, which we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So I mean, I just kind of am going into this kind of feeling like, oh man, this sucks. Like, I feel like it's going to be kind of awkward. But this is the last thing I'll say before we get into the match predictions and stuff, and then we can continue the discussion later. At first, I was gonna not looking forward to this because I was like, oh, it's no crowd, it's not gonna be hype, it's gonna be really boring. Then a friend of mine, his name Austin, was like, yeah, but since they have no crowd to feed off of, they're going to have to really focus on making sure the matches are going to be stellar.
Yeah, like, they've actually been taking advantage of this quite well. Like, SmackDown just last night, man, that angle with Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, like, at the corner you can see the Fiend, then all of a sudden they edited it to where Bray was right behind him, right behind Cena. So I thought that was pretty sick.
I haven't seen this week's SmackDown yet.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Well, that's fine. I mean, like, I'm not going to get the chance to watch it today, so.
Well, like, I think we should also kind of acknowledge that on that SmackDown, even though you haven't seen it yet. But, like, they finally announced that Braun Strowman was going to face Goldberg at Mania.
I told you, didn't I?
Well, I mean, I didn't disagree with you on that.
Okay.
But, like,
all right. I'm not saying you disagreed. I was just like, I fucking calling it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Braun so much, dude. He needs a win tonight or tomorrow night, whenever the hell it's gonna go on, which we don't know. But they announced it, but, like, they didn't say anything about Rome. They were just showing off, like, one of those promo cards, like, on the ship that they've been doing. They were like,
they're just trying to hype up the fight at this point the best they can.
But they, like, didn't say anything about Roman. They didn't say, well, due to health concerns, Roman. They just said, now Braun Strowman is gonna face Goldberg the night before WrestleMania actually starts.
I think that they're trying so hard not to say the word corona in anything that they're doing. I swear they're avoiding it. Go back and watch some of the episodes if you have some free time. But even when all this first started, all they've said is, like, due to circumstances, due to this, like, they will not say the reasons. And they're just like, we are here to entertain you. Like, they're so focused on not saying why this is happening and just focusing on that, which is fine, but it's just kind of weird because then they don't do stuff like that, and it feels like they're almost like not telling you something, right?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Like, the bad thing is that, like, come on, we're not dumb. We know why the hell there's no one there. But also, the whole point I feel like they're not acknowledging it is because they're trying to distract us from all that,
Right. They're not trying to be Debbie Downers, which is, the intentions are good, but it does come off that, like, they're playing us like we're dumb.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, you want to get into some of these matches?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you have it on your screen, so I'll let you do most of the controlling here. Well, I guess we're starting off with the kickoff show where we have Liv Morgan versus Natalya. I think this was just announced today. Wasn't this just announced today?
I think so. Like this is I'm just gonna say this already, is that I think this is the problem with this Mania, is that like it's a whole lot of these kind of matches where like, oh yeah, so this is happening, right? Like you'll notice later on.
We are so honored to be able to participate in a pointless match.
Yeah, which I love both these participants. Honestly, they deserve a little bit better than the kickoff show. There might be a few, like the heck, all these matches that you see on the screen right now might be better than a couple of matches on the main card, but oh well.
I think Liv. I was expecting Liv Morgan was going to go against Lana.
Yeah, but that storyline has kind of died down. I mean, I expected her to go against Ruby Riott, because she.
Oh yeah, that too. That would have worked. That would have worked.
Or hell, a triple threat. Wrap up all these angles, but instead they're like, here, hey, Natalia's not doing anything. Let's just give her some Liv Morgan.
Like, could you, man? It just, again, like it's so annoying when you have matches like this because like you want to get into it, but especially when you're older, like you or I, we just know that it's just a filler. Like this should be a match in between two good matches, so I can go take a piss. Like
Right.
and that's sad to say for these two women because they're both great athletes. Like, it's so annoying. I don't know. When Liv Morgan came out and did the whole angle that she was a secret lover of Lana, I was like, this is like old WWE that I miss,
Right.
And I wish we had more of that, where it's like batshit crazy enough to where it's like, all right, we're all buying in. Let's just have fun with it, and we're not getting that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I agree with Mr. Brookhouse, Mr. and Mrs. I have no idea what the heck is going on with CBS, but I do feel like Liv Morgan will win since she has a tiny bit of momentum and Natalya is just kind of like there.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since Natalya had a match at Crown Jewel, and it was like the first ever championship match or something that was in Saudi Arabia, I think it is. So
Yeah.
she has nothing to be pushed for. Liv has so much to be pushed for. So give her a win at WrestleMania. It's just going to be kind of weird if they just give another thing to Natalya.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Next match. This right here should be a goddamn championship match, in my opinion.
Yeah. That one's going to be very entertaining.
For a kickoff show match too, nonetheless.
Yeah, especially like I mean, anything with Drew Gulak, it's just like I love Drew Gulak on 205 Live because for a while I felt like 205 Live was just turning into we're just gonna do stunts, and that's what dictates a good match. And he kind of came in and was kind of like proven like no, a good match also has a lot of technician to it. So to see him go against Cesaro, who's about maybe like almost twice his size, I'm excited.
Yeah, I love Gulak, what they've been doing with him and Bray. I also love Cesaro. They haven't done as many good things with him as they have with Gulak. So I personally feel like Cesaro is going to get the dub because his little trio of people have gone through a rough streak so far, and I feel like Sami Zayn, there's no way he's going to win that match against Bray. Spoiler alert. So I feel like that group kind of needs some sort of help. And like also it'll kind of set up like this big narrative for that Zayn Bryan matchup to where it shows that, you can take that trio somewhat seriously.
I think it's going to get either one of two ways. Like either Drew's going to win this match and Bryan loses the IC match, or it's going to be vice versa. Like,
yeah, I agree with you on that. To where like there's no way one side can win. It'll be like a crazy blowout.
yeah, and I'm loving what they're doing with Drew and Daniel. I did not see that coming, and it's such an interesting, realistic type of like story that makes you like. It made me love Drew as like a face when he was acting like a heel. It was really weird. And I don't know, maybe it was just because like that's like what they're doing with that is the fact that Daniel Bryan wins and he comes to him and shows him respect, and then they form a friendship off that. Like that's so cool. Like you never see stuff like that. Like
absolutely, it felt like really natural too. And like Drew Gulak never did anything that was too heelish during his little PowerPoint presentations. Like he had actually
love it
pretty
when he
good
did those.
intentions. Oh yeah, he had good intentions on like helping people out. Like he gave Heath Slater a chance. Like, come on now, like you
Yeah,
gotta love
like
Heath Slater.
I don't know, like that was the formation of like such a good like tag team. They used a feud between the two, and then Daniel Bryan does something where he does something a face where he wins, but he showed proper respect to this guy, and that gives Drew Gulag's heel character a chance to be like, oh, he's showing me respect, I'm gonna give him respect back, and then he can transition into being a face, and then they form this awesome team.
And what's
Like,
even better is that like if this happens and Bryan wins the IC title, hell, it could even set up a Gulag versus Bryan like feud
yeah,
in the
and that could
coming
be
months.
long down the road. So this is just, if this isn't like setting up something good now, it's setting up something good for the future.
Absolutely. So it's a win-win. One of those rare occasions in WWE.
All right, so you think Drew's gonna win this,
Yes,
or
I think Cesaro is going to win.
I think Drew's gonna win this. I think it's more likely that Sammy's gonna keep the IC title for a little bit longer.
All right. So next match, women's tag team Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Severe lack of the Iconics here, but it's fine. Everything's fine. I actually do like both these tag teams.
I did not expect me to like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, but now I'm like really for it. Like,
Oh yeah, me too. Like it
they,
was kind of cringy when they interviewed the NWO a few months ago.
yeah,
But at the same time, like their antics have been pretty entertaining, and the Kabuki Warriors have honestly been killing it too lately with what they've been doing, especially Asuka and her killer dance moves.
did I'm not a big fan of Asuka. I'm just not.
Really?
I mean, like, I really respect her. She's amazing in the ring. She's amazing. But like, I feel like her character is lazy. Like that's why I don't like it so much. And that's my own personal opinion. Like, and I say that because I feel like every time I watch her, it's like she just has this like she already established she's this badass, so all she needs to do now is just go out there, scream, and just go like this, and all of a sudden, oh god, she's so bad. Like, I don't know, I find it very lazy. But she's a fucking stellar wrestler. So like I
Absolutely. And Kyrie is like also really good. Like I see the Kabuki Warriors retaining because A, they haven't really had much opportunities to retain. And then also like I don't know, I just feel like they're too respected to give it up to Cross and Bliss.
yeah, I don't know. I want the Iconics to be back.
Oh, me too, man. I love them so much.
They're such a funny heel tag team. It's like I feel like we need more some female tag teams. We need to get that division back up and going because that was really good for a while. I think it's mostly because Sasha and Bayley are doing their own thing at the moment.
Yeah, which I personally like that. I'm kind of in the minority with that. A lot of people are not a fan of heel Bayley and Sasha, but I love it so much.
Well, the reason I like it is because they annoy me so much. Like that's what a heel's
Exactly.
supposed to
That's what you're
do.
supposed to do.
Karen Bayley is the most annoying female wrestler there is at the moment, and that's exactly what she needs to do. So I applaud her work. This is opening the way for Sasha to come back as a face, possibly.
Yeah, we'll get on that later.
Yeah, we'll get on that later. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Kabuki Warriors.
So Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. This might be the most entertaining storyline going on in WWE right now.
The most like cemented one. They've been building this up for so long, and I love it. Like,
Yeah, I do too. It's a classic one. Like they mentioned in this article, Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. I absolutely see that going on too with Otis and Mandy, especially after what happened on SmackDown last night.
Mandy gives Otis a hug and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Dolph needs his comeuppance here. This is the ultimate opportunity. But like, if they have Dolph win, I'm just gonna turn off the WrestleMania entirely.
I mean, I'll still watch it because I have to. But
Do you think that Hacker Man will make his debut in
Hacker
WrestleMania?
Man,
Yeah, have you seen the thing like in
no.
SmackDown last night? Like the flashing static things with the circle. It's supposed to be. It might be Mustafa Ali, but like last night he revealed through security footage that like the thing with Sonya texting Otis about being an hour late, then deleting the text where Otis showed up late, and yeah,
Like, see,
yeah.
I missed that episode. I didn't know what was going on all on Valentine's Day. I missed that episode too.
Yeah. So like, Sonya took Mandy's phone, texted Otis about being late, deleted the text, and then Otis showed up an hour late, but Mandy was with Dolph. So that's the whole drama with that. And last night, the hacker man that's been showing up some uh, like the random staticky footage, he showed everyone about what Sonya did, and now Sonya and Mandy are not on good terms.
Ooh.
Right?
I mean, if they
Drama. The
were
night
gonna do
before
anything like
WrestleMania.
that, they would do it here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a good setup though, to where like you feel like Otis will definitely win. But then like I don't know. I really hope that whoever the hacker man is waits until like probably tomorrow or not tomorrow, but I'm used to WrestleMania being on a Sunday.
And then they make a
Wait
new
until Raw.
storyline out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm in the agreed. So I'm saying Otis is gonna win because it is a classic. Like, everyone knows that Otis and Mandy are not actually together. Dolph and Mandy are not actually together. Everyone knows that. But what's so great about a story like this is because, like, it's so ridiculous, and it's like, it's not ridiculous, but it's just like you suspend your disbelief to get into what they're trying. They're trying
and
to make,
Otis
like,
is super relatable here.
yeah, they're trying to make a fun-loving story where they're not trying to specifically be like, ooh, the authority versus the underdog. They're just making kind of a realistic story. Like, you want to support
Beauty and the Beast.
Otis. Yeah, they want to. It's like you want to cheer him on, and that's something like watching old wrestling has made me appreciate. You notice how many old wrestlers they got such a kick out of like not being in the title picture most of the time and just doing these really crazy feuds with other people. They just got so into it. Like, that's what I feel, this kind of energy. Like, Otis and Tucker, it feels like they don't feel the need that they have to be a part of the title picture. They are getting enough enjoyment out of like making this like side story and just stuff. And that's what I love to see in wrestling.
And I love how Tucky has been able to like play a role in this too.
Yeah, like
Where,
as the best friend trying to calm him down. He's there
yeah,
for him. It's really nice. So yeah, I'm saying Otis.
yeah, same. Next up, this might be a underdog or not underdog, but like a low key good match.
Anything with Alistair Black is almost fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like I love Lashley too. He just happens to have been going through some rough times with Lana and all that. Like that kind of, I think that kind of messed them up. This is another one of those matches where you're like, oh, it's happening. That's right, because there's no build up to it. They just kind of got inserted. But I like both these guys. But I feel like Alistair's got like a super powerful build up going right now to where he's definitely going to win.
Yeah.
But I feel like
I mean,
Lashley will definitely perform too.
I've always said that I think Alistair should be like the next kind of like Undertaker type character.
For sure. But I mean, we have Bray for that too. But it'd be cool to have two of those guys, you know? Two of
My
those
God, could
weird
you
enigmas.
imagine the match between those two?
Oh, stop. I can only get so erect, Seth.
SummerSlam. We'll wait for SummerSlam or Hell in a Cell.
Oh, man.
All right, yeah, but I'm going to say Alistair.
Alistair, but I feel like it'll definitely be a good match. People really sleep on my man Lashley. No, then this match will be This should be a pre-show match, like high key.
Yeah. I'm surprised fucking Gronk didn't put himself in the match.
Right?
Yeah, I was really surprised, which I think that's something that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, Gronk versus Corbin, but I feel like Corbin's going to win because they got to give these heels something, and Elias is injured, so he'll at least have that to back him up. No pun intended.
Yeah, and it'll be like, oh, you attacked me in a horrible way. And all
So,
that.
like, if Elias loses, he'll at least have that excuse to where his momentum isn't completely died down.
Right. And I mean, I'm always going to be a fan of Elias.
Oh yeah, me too. I think he's definitely a better heel though.
He's a good heel, but like he's definitely like an entertaining face too. Like, he doesn't feel like he's getting stripped away by being a face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it kind of came out of nowhere, and I prefer him as a heel, but I think Corbin's going to win.
Right. All right, let's move on.
This match is happening, but I'm kind of excited for it, you know, because the Street Profits can definitely be entertaining, but Angel Garza has the momentum and the charisma that you could always ask for. And Austin Theory, man.
What a great opportunity for this young blood, honestly.
And like that's such a weird tag team to where I really hope they win.
I was really for Andrade and Angel because I was like, wow, I didn't expect this to be a tag team, but I'm kind of digging it. They're both like overly cocky, Hispanic, like charismatic people. Andrade's more aggressive. Angel's more like shove it in your face. And I was like, I'm really digging this, like as a team. But
Andrade got hurt. And is he hurt or is he sick or both?
I think he had a rib injury.
Gotcha. But then Austin Theory, it's crazy that they chose to call him up out of all the NXT performers. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if they chose like Keith Lee or something.
Oh my God, dude! If we could have the crowd that they wanted, that WrestleMania place would blow up for Keith Lee.
Oh my goodness! But I mean, still, Austin Theory. He's very weird for a selection, but I don't hate it. I mean, the guy is what 1 year older than us. That makes me feel fun.
Dude, I want you to keep in mind, who's the first? I always forget his name. Who's the first ever United Kingdom champion? Tyler Bate. He was 19 when we were like both 19, and he won that championship.
And now
this is where we're
the ones talking about it and not going through that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm saying Street Profits just because of the whole deal with the fact that, Andrade's not there.
Yeah, I see them winning. I just want Angel Garza and Theory to win, if you know what I mean.
No, I feel that.
This might be the match of the night.
Dude. Dude, tag team wrestling is just slept on.
It really is. Like, I think the thing is that AEW has their tag division so, like, locked down to where people expect something like that. But, like, I mean, you see this talent right here. I think the Miz and Morrison tag team returning has been huge for it, too.
It's been one of my favorite things this year. I'm not going to lie. Did you see that they made a new rap video?
Oh, heck yeah. I saw that.
That shit was so funny. Like, it looked like a bunch of dads trying to, like, stay hip.
How do you do, fellow kids?
They were like, Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho, ho. It's like, and you know what's funny is John Morrison looks the most dad of the two. Like,
but he just has like an 8-pack still.
I know. I think they're gonna retain the titles.
I do too. I agree with that. I think that they're really going to go over in the sense that they have really revamped this tag division instead of seeing the New Day versus the Usos over and over and over again on SmackDown.
Which, I mean, sorry if you heard a car. That thing was loud. But no, I agree. Like, Miz and Morrison have just breathed life into a division that's always had great wrestling, but not as great. Like,
it's just nice to see a change up,
Yeah, like, and besides, like, they're just so great at being heels, but like making me laugh all the time. Like when they dressed themselves up as the other teams and they were just making fun of all those teams like that. And they were dressed as Otis and Tucker as Bacon, but people kept calling them Steak.
Like I think Miz and Morrison will win, but I do think that it's very possible the New Day win it as well because I feel like WWE owes Kofi something because they shafted him so goddamn hard.
Oh
with
yeah,
his title and like making it. Well, like, he had a good run, but like losing to Brock in 5 seconds, like that just.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit pissed off about that. I just rewatched that match from WrestleMania. The shit got me emotional.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then they just
Kofi deserved that so much, and. Oh, goodness.
So the Miz and John Morrison.
Yeah, I see that. And I won't be upset if that happens. I won't be upset if any of these 3 tag teams win.
Oh,
but
of course not. Of course not.
You gotta love those matches. And then we kind of talked about this for a little bit.
Yeah. So it's going to be either or is kind of like what we said. And I'm more in the boat that Sami Zayn is going to retain. I think having Daniel Bryan lose and then maybe having like almost a montage of him getting trained after losing like that by Gulag will be kind of good and help build that story a bit.
That would be pretty cool, but
He could even be like,
I'm really not a fan of WrestleMania matches setting up something in the future, but I feel like in a few of these matches they will have to do that,
If they set up anything, they have to set up mid-card matches or feuds that eventually lead to championship matches. They can't supplement something for like big championships. Like for the IC title, I'd rather they not, but it's generally I'm okay with them doing that at WrestleMania. It has to be like something smaller. It can't be like big ones because then it's just a waste.
Like if Zayn were like by himself, like I would love to see Zayn retain because he's been with the company, put up so many great matches that he absolutely deserves a title. He deserves a good run. But seeing him with Cesaro and Nakamura, I feel like that kind of weakens his character a bit, especially since he's been quote unquote the voice of the group and not like the technician.
Yeah, is he a manager? Like I don't know what he is. Like,
but I would love to see him put on an actual good match and retain. But I do think Bryan will ultimately win. And heck, maybe I think no matter what, Zayn winning a title in the first place is a win. And hopefully it'll make people notice that he can actually do things.
And he won it over Braun out of all people.
In a 3-on-1 match, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, I say Sammy, you say Daniel.
Sammy, Daniel.
All right, let's continue on.
Owens versus Rollins. Rollins has been killing it, man.
Yeah, man. Did you see that promo he gave where he called himself a god?
Yes.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, dude. Rollins.
So good.
I want Rollins to win. I think Rollins will win. And I think if anything, there will be like some small interference by the rest of the gang with Murphy and the AOP, and they'll at least keep Owens' momentum up. I mean, heck, I could even see Samoa Joe appearing, maybe coming back. I don't know if he's still suspended or not.
What did he get suspended for?
Probably PEDs.
What's that? I don't know what those
performance-enhancing drugs, like steroids. You failed some sort of test. I know that much.
Oh, that sucks.
That's why Owens and Joe have not been tag teaming, or as my girlfriend calls him, Samoa Joe.
Sure. I love Samoa Joe, but I don't know. I think they're really setting up. I think they're really setting up Kevin Owens to win. So I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens if I'm betting money. But I'm just loving everything Seth Rollins is doing. I think the person who benefits this feud most is Seth.
I want Seth to win so that way he can continue this. I'm worried that Owens beating him would completely halt like anything that the Monday Night Messiah has done.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine with either or. And I've always been a big Seth Rollins fan. He's in my top like 5 or 3 of favorite wrestlers of all time. So
I wasn't a fan of his title run. I don't know. There was just something about it that I wasn't crazy about. Like if he carried over this Monday Night Messiah role into the championship picture, I would be completely fine with that. He needs to keep riding this wave for as long as possible. Hell, even try to recruit some other people into his little cult.
I think him having 4 people is perfect because I feel like 4 people in a faction is fantastic. And
I think it would be funny to see it like reflect on the Dark Order in AEW. Do you watch AEW by any chance?
Here's something. Next Survivor Series, the Undisputed Era gets a call up. And for one of the matches, it's Undisputed Era versus Rollins Cult. We haven't come up with a name.
Yeah, they didn't have a name for it yet.
They really need to come up with a name for it because it is a very cool concept.
Oh yeah, the Man Bun Brigade.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of like to refer it as.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm picking Kevin Owens.
All right, and I got Seth. We're just going head to head today, aren't we?
Yeah, you're wrong, Gavin.
Listen here, you little shit. All right, this match will be. It's happening.
Don't they do this every WrestleMania? They just pick the championship that's less important and just throw every woman in it.
Yeah, that's what I do on WWE 2K at least. So with this match, I love Bayley as a champion, but I want Sasha to win.
Yeah. I think that's gonna.
I mean, Naomi has gotten some momentum ever since the Rumble.
Well, I mean, I love what she's always doing something new. I love what she's doing with her hair, but like, that's it.
I see Sasha or Naomi winning, but I'm going to choose Sasha so that way she can have a feud with Bayley. And I think that would be very good.
Tamina feels pointless for this match. Naomi feels pointless for this match.
I mean, Naomi and Lacey at least had feuds with Bayley. This should really be a triple threat match. But, I mean, Sasha being included in it is a nice twist. But Tamina, what the hell are you doing there?
Yeah, like See, like this, like I hate that they do that, but it's almost like they feel like they have to put people in matches or else they don't get, like, I think it has something to do with contracts. That's my theory most of the time.
Put it Tamina versus Sasha in the pre-show.
Yeah, but nope.
Right.
They need to make it big. So yeah, I'm picking Sasha along with you.
Sweet. Hey, we finally agreed on something. All right. This match I am a big fan of.
Yes. The feud is fantastic. I hate I mean, this is just a pet peeve of mine, but I hate it when they make it something way more important than it actually is. Like they're like, "Oh, the NXT Women's Championship made it WrestleMania," and I was like, and I'm just sitting there going, "Okay, so what?" Like, like for like we've had the Andre Giant Battle Royal, which we can't have anymore because of all this shit.
Right.
So it's like I'm like, look, it doesn't like no one's when we're talking history later, no one's really gonna talk about how like, oh, this was the first time we ever saw the NXT Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Like nobody talks about that sort of thing. Like, like I don't
See,
know.
what's funny is that I've never watched a Rhea Ripley match because I watched AEW over NXT.
She's
Sorry, guys.
awesome.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of her just from her promos on Raw, and I think it's a big deal that Charlotte, out of all people, is the one that's going against her because she's very, you know, cherished by everyone, and like how
Yeah,
she's very she's very popular, and she has a lot of titles under her.
yeah, and I think what makes this match so good is like, I mean, I said I just hated how they were making it more important out the B than it was with the whole first time ever, but really this was the best choice for Charlotte's choice for winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's kind of
Because
like the opposite of like a Lesnar, where like every year it's
yeah,
Lesnar, Lesnar,
yeah,
Lesnar. Then now she's like, hey, I'm not going to win either of these championships that I've already won multiple times. Let's go for a new one. I like
yeah,
that.
I was so annoyed, and everyone was so annoyed when she won, and I was like, all right, fine, she has a Royal Rumble win now. And I was like, now she's just gonna face Bayley or Charlotte, and they're gonna put that again. And
Give
then
me
when she
Becky.
said she was facing Rhea, and I'm like, okay, cool. They're trying to do something new and leave opportunities for something new for the other people, like Bayley versus Sasha. Now we have, and we'll get to later, but Charlotte versus
Becky.
Shayna. Like, I was like, this was the perfect choice. So I'm really excited. I think this is probably one to be the best matches of the night, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see both of them bringing it. And
And
then
I
here we
say
go.
Rhea.
Yeah, I say Rhea too. So it would be cool to see Charlotte go to. I mean, I think Charlotte winning's a possibility too to get people to watch NXT over AEW.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's. I don't know. I'm not a big Charlotte fan. I do not like Charlotte. Like, I
All
like
right.
Asuka more than Charlotte, and I don't like Asuka that much.
Dang, son. All right, Becky versus Shayna. This has been interesting.
Becky,
Yeah, same.
Becky, just because like I love her as champion.
I do too. I love
Every
Becky.
time I think they're like, oh, they're gonna pass off to someone new, and Shayna was the first person where I was like, wow, they're actually gonna pass it off to her. And then I listen to Becky's promos, and I'm just like, no, they can't.
And
I don't
Shayna
want her
is
to
just
go away.
Shayna just goes, "Arr, I'm gonna bite you." Arr.
Like I feel like Shayna's whole thing is that like she dominates, and she does that in the ring perfectly. So I love what Shayna does, but like every time Becky's in the ring or on the mic or just anywhere, it's just flawless. Like you almost like it feels like she's losing her step and she gets right back in the lane. And
Yeah,
it's
I think if anything, they would win. Shayna would win at the next pay per view, and not me.
yes, and I would be a lot better with that
Yeah, me
personally.
too. So now this one will be arguably the most hyped up match of the night.
I'm excited for this one.
I am too. I mean, I think the rest of the card really is like obviously going to be the main event scene. But yeah, Edge versus Orton. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be Edge. It's gonna be Edge.
Oh, it's gonna be Edge for sure. But
The
like
question is, how many tables will be broken?
God, you know, I like, and I'm gonna feel the same way when I watch Daniel Bryan. I just get so scared when I watch him wrestle because I'm like, please, oh God, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. And that's how I'm gonna be during this match, and that's gonna make me love it more because I'm gonna get so into it. But the feud they've been able to do, even with all this shit going on, is just amazing. The promos, how real it feels, and it's
all the concertos, all the the grit promos have been fantastic.
I will say though, Edge has been given like the last promo I didn't like that much because it was like I feel like he's just going like, you say I don't have this, you say I don't have this,
but I have grit.
I don't have this, like,
but I have grit. Like that's kind of the whole thing.
That's all it
Randy
was.
Orton, Edge, you said you had grit, but I had grit. But do you have grit? And then Edge goes, I have grit.
Grits gets the snack.
Just them going back and forth saying grit, 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 grit.
90s.
Concerto.
Oh my god. But
Man, it's gonna be Edge. Come on.
Yeah, it's gonna be Edge. It's gonna be Edge. The return.
This match is gonna be freaking awesome. I am so excited for this. It's gonna be stupid, and I'm here for it.
You know what? It's gonna be really entertaining, so I'm not that upset. But I do think it should have been John Cena versus AJ Styles and Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt again. That's what I think it should have been. Even though we've seen John Cena versus AJ Styles, if that meant we would get an Undertaker versus The Fiend, damn.
I think it should have been John Cena versus Goldberg.
Actually, yeah.
I would have been entertained by that. That
would have been – and we haven't seen John Cena in a title match in forever, so.
And he's like one away from the record if I –
Yeah, so like, giving it to him every once in a while is fine. It just has to feel justified. And even John Cena was like, yeah, I want to stay out of this WrestleMania. And then Goldberg comes out and he goes, yeah, well,
you're next.
Like, he's like, too bad, you're next. Then he would have been like, all right, fine, I guess I don't have a choice.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
But I'm very curious what a Firefly Funhouse match. But if it's anything that I'm imagining, then I'm here for it. But
if it's all like, if it looks like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like it will be so funny. Like
the Fiend's got to win, right? I mean,
yeah.
This is essentially a redemption from WrestleMania in years past. I don't remember which one specifically because I was out of wrestling at the time.
WrestleMania 30, I think it was.
30, that's right.
But yeah, 6 years ago.
But like Bray got embarrassed by old man Goldberg. Like I used to be such a big fan of Goldberg, and it sucks seeing him kind of ruin my interpretation of him.
I still like Goldberg. It's just like they wrote him wrong.
Yeah. But they need to give him someone who's not Bray Wyatt to jackhammer. Oh, here's Braun Strowman. Oh God.
Okay. Undertaker versus AJ Styles.
Well, who do you got for the Fiend match?
Oh, I said the Fiend.
Okay, sorry. I'm bad at life. Undertaker versus AJ Styles Boneyard match. Are we going to see American Badass Undertaker here, Seth?
Yeah. I mean, have you been listening to him? Did you see that last promo he did? And he is literally in a leather jacket and a bandana.
Yeah.
He should have came back as American Badass Undertaker when he faced John Cena, and John Cena should have been Thugonomics. That would have been so awesome.
Blast from the past.
But no, we get it with AJ Styles. Why? I don't
know. I mean, I think
it's going to be awesome regardless. But.
Yeah, I feel like this could be like obviously 10 years ago this would have been a match of the century. But like I think if the Undertaker somewhat brings it and brings his all, it helps that it's already pre-recorded so they can do multiple takes. But
they are doing it that way.
Yeah, so I feel like what we see will be good, but if it was live, it'd be a different scenario. And I honestly wouldn't be upset if either of these guys won. It's one of those matches, but I do see Taker picking it up because Styles has been kind of killing it on the mic, and it's gonna be one of those matches where the quote unquote babyface or whatever the hell Undertaker is considered.
Yeah, if Taker definitely comes back as American Badass, then he takes it 100%. But if he doesn't, then I give it a 60-40 more Taker.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited for this match.
Yeah, it should be entertaining.
And then how many matches? We only got 3 matches left? 2 matches? Yeah. All right, this match I'm most excited for.
McIntyre.
I'm choosing Brock.
Come on, man. I know we just had I'm not saying I don't understand what you're saying. I think it's possible, but with all how they've been hyping him up and all that, and I know all this Corona stuff has messed up the crowd, so it's not going to be as hyped. McIntyre kind of needs this.
I
And
do I think that's the reason why I'm choosing Brock is because Drew needs a moment, and I think they owe it to Drew to have a moment. And so if anything, wait until pay-per-views in the future. But I don't know.
SummerSlam.
I'm kind of wondering if today's teleconference that they're going on right now with the White House with sports, because WWE is there, the NBA is there, NFL is there to determine what's going on with sports, and Vince is there, and so I'm wondering if I think that just ended actually, if that will impact anything. Well, obviously the match already happened though, never mind. But I mean, I wonder if they were just going to wait to give the title to Drew when he's in front of a crowd,
If they do, then they should probably do it at SummerSlam.
But I do agree with what you're saying, how they've been hyping up Drew, but I think that's all the reason why they would give it to Brock,
All right. God, I might change my answer because that's a good point. I think it would destroy his momentum if he didn't win, so I'm still going to go with Drew.
I mean, I think it definitely could go either way. I think this could definitely turn out to be a Mania, but it's kind of there's a little bit few too many matches,
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right, the final match. Goldberg versus Braun.
Braun.
It's got to be Braun.
I feel like Braun deserves it. I know he was shoehorned in, but I don't think Goldberg signed up to be on here longer than WrestleMania.
I could see them trying to have Goldberg win to have him set up versus Roman, but I'd rather have Braun versus Roman.
Could you imagine Bray Wyatt coming back and trying to face Braun?
That would be a damn good. I love Braun. I'm probably in the minority on that one too.
I am kind of biased in this decision, but it feels like I was gonna pick Roman, which I was gonna cheer him on anyway, because I like what Roman has become. So I'm gonna cheer the same for Braun because I don't think Goldberg signed up to be on here longer than at longest WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's kind of what I hate about this too. I think those matches always tend to suck. Remember that was it WrestleMania 20 or 21 where it was Brock versus Goldberg, and the whole crowd knew that they were both going to leave, so they just kind of they just didn't give crap at all who won that match. So this is kind of it too, where you're just Goldberg's probably going to leave, so it's Braun.
Well, I mean, Goldberg does win, then that's definitely a SummerSlam match, which should be interesting.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean,
yeah,
I think Braun will win.
Yeah, I'm going to say Braun too.
All right. So is that it? Ja.
All right. So now that we've gone through all this, kind of what are your general thoughts now that we've seen the entire card? Because this is the first time I've seen the entire thing.
Yeah, I think they just now kind of finalized it today. So Edge versus Orton is going to be a banger. McIntyre versus Brock. I'm not a huge Brock fan, but I think that one will be something that I pay attention to because I've been a fan of Drew, like a lot of people, for a good decade now. Alistair Black versus Bobby Lashley is my sleeper of the week or sleeper of the weekend. But the one that will inevitably be the best one will probably be the ladder match. I'm really excited for the spots that Miz and Morrison will do. Kofi doing his Kofi things, and the Usos trying to do their best Young Bucks impression with their Super Kick Party.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I think if they played it safe and they really focused on making sure the matches are good, then this WrestleMania will be saved because they can't feed off the crowd. So I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping I'm right for most of these too. And you mentioned something about the White House stuff. I don't know what's going on. Could you fill me in?
It's just kind of this nationwide thing where all these major sports organizations are talking on the phone with the White House about what to do. Rumors of the NFL or playing games in front of empty coliseums, and what WWE is going to do, NHL, all that jazz, as far as I know.
Okay. I mean, this is probably going to get posted maybe an hour before WrestleMania starts, so we have no clue what's going on at the current moment.
Yeah,
For
according to
watching, we don't know. It is 3:12 p.m. Leave us alone.
This is from ESPN's Adam Schefter saying that President Donald Trump is scheduled to participate in a phone call with all Major League Sports commissioners today at noon, which was 3 hours ago.
Which, yeah, it's good that he's doing that. The only reason sports are so important to go the meet with is just the fact that so many people are involved with them. Like it's a functioning business in definitely United States society. So I don't know, man. I think what they're gonna probably do, and this is my prediction for that, is I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna ask to cancel stuff for just like a couple months. And I think what wrestling will do is just say for the months of like May and June, we are not gonna have any events, and then in August they'll just go right into SummerSlam.
I mean, I feel like what they'll do for WWE, because personally, I freaking hate that they're showing replays of old matches. Like, if I want to watch those, I'll just watch them on the network.
Yeah, just make the episodes shorter. Like, don't waste my time. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, I
So,
already saw
like,
these.
but AEW supposedly has like a bunch of pre-recorded matches already that last them for weeks. So I could see WWE doing something like that, and like they should, because like if they want, they can just isolate people, sanitize everything between matches, record them to where they're just a bunch of matches.
Well, I mean, WWE can focus on the fact that they have a streaming platform that they can be like, hey, look, we aren't going to have live events. However, what they might do to kind of like keep people like to pay, like so they can earn some money is like, we are going to offer our network for like half price, and like you can have, it'll be kind of your chance to try out the network while we have to wait for this crisis to be over. Because I've seen a bunch of like streaming platforms do that, especially
Which
since
right now the network is offering like certain pay-per-views for free if you just
yeah.
sign an account,
And I
which is
mean,
what
like
I
they still
did,
have their month free program as well.
which is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, that might not make them a ton of money, but it would be a great way for them to kind of keep people invested while all this is going on. Like I've seen so many things, like they've offered like a free week. I think Netflix and Hulu, they talked about possibly making it cheaper because everyone's inside. Um, like it would be very cool if they did that, but they probably do have a bunch of pre-recorded matches, probably with mostly like NXT brand people, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is their
What they do
chance
with
to like be like,
Austin.
hey, here are some of our new talent, and then they just play matches.
Which, not to keep mentioning AEW or anything, but like they have a show called AEW Dark where they televise on YouTube, so quote unquote televise their dark matches. And what they've been doing with that is that they've been taking actual local indie talent, like independent wrestlers who get zero merchandise sales, like WWE superstars do, and
Well, that's
just feature
good.
them on there. Yeah.
That's good. And I don't mind if you mention AEW. You know, I don't watch AEW at all, which I probably should. So it's kind of good to get that perspective when we talk about this, because all I know is WWE. Like,
You don't watch Impact, bro? You don't want to watch 50-year-old RVD and Sabu?
I mean, why
Cedric,
not?
not Cedric, but Rich Swan.
I actually went to a TNA show that was in my hometown where I was living at the time when I was like 14, and Jeff Hardy was at it. It was wild, dude. Sting wasn't there, but they were selling Sting masks. Like, those were the days. All right, do you have any other thoughts about WrestleMania? Anything you want to talk about before we kind of call it and I upload this?
I feel like it'll be a pretty good show.
I do
That's
too, man.
my bold statement of the day. And I'll be very into it since I actually watch wrestling now. So
I feel like it's going to be a good show for people that really watch wrestling, but it's still going to be considered a less than better WrestleMania just because of the crowd, because people are shallow.
see, the trick is to drink some whiskey and Coke as you watch.
I don't have any of that though, so I got to actually pay attention.
Boo.
Yeah. All right. Well, man, thank you for joining me. This has been, I guess we're still calling this the Nameless podcast. I don't know. Me and Gavin are probably talking about doing a podcast separately for this kind of thing. I used to do predictions and reactions on my YouTube channel all the time just by myself, but it might just get turned into a podcast form. I don't know what I'm really doing with it. Yeah, thank you, Gavin. Thank you for coming on here.
Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Now go down below. If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, be sure to do that. Comment, let us know what you think about our predictions. Hopefully I'll get this posted before WrestleMania happens, but if it is posted during WrestleMania, I am sorry. I am awful.
We'll just look at how our predictions age like milk.
Oh God, I go back sometimes and I'm just like, what was I thinking? Like, all right, guys. Well, thank you for watching and come back in the future.
Or else.
Not or else.